About time for another Coach Life. You know, when I look at social media, I see mostly mental health issues. Pardon the noise, it's New York, public school. I really want to engage in social media, I do, but I haven't found the right time. Every time I try, it gets weird. It becomes a competition, and really, I'm not competing so what are we competing? Like, look, my life looks better than yours. I don't want to do that. I was really engaged with social media when I was traveling because it felt right. It felt like, yo, I'm going to sit here and collect all these gems and put it in a book nobody's going to read, or I can just share them right now. I'm in Mexico City, not Mexico the beach, Mexico City. I'm living here. I'm not on vacation. I'm living here. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was having experiences that were rich and that were worth sharing. Even now in my life, if I wasn't working with, see, the thing is, I don't want to share the coaching aspect and the teacher mentor aspect and all of that, because I don't want to use other people's energy for folks who just don't even know them. Like, I really don't agree with people putting their kids on social media. Call me crazy. It just, I don't know. I don't know. Something about it feels okay. I'm looking at it through my perspective, right? So if I could just shift and put myself in somebody else's shoes, they got a lot going on, they have a good moment with their kids, they want to share it with their friends and family, cool, do that. But to share it with the general public, that just seems weird to me, because you don't know how that information is going to be received. You don't know if it's going to pop up on somebody's Explorer page. You don't know what kind of people, like, that's public. You're basically like putting your child out in the public. So, I mean, hopefully you got all your settings proper and well, there's no way. It's social media, it's public. You can't really hide. So it just, I mean, here's my point. Don't you think you need to figure that part out first before you go ahead and post? That's how I feel. Adults is different. So that's why I don't share my work in education, coaching, and all that stuff, because it's like, these are young adults. I don't know how they feel about it. It is what it is. Now, that being said, I haven't been able to process the Tyre Nichols murder because so much life has forced me to like just take a glance at it. I'm not gonna watch the video unless things get crazy, but I think it's worth a few words here. I've been saying the same story. I'll have to say it again multiple times, so I might as well get it down to 1 minute here. Who was the brother who was killed during the pandemic and we all protested and hit the streets and all of that? What was his name? I can see his face. Steven Jackson. What was his name? Anywho, the point is, there was a lot of black men killed, black women killed through systemic racism. I don't care the complexion, color of the person committing the act. I think black on black crime at this point is systemic racism. When you oppress a people to the point where they have to get down how we getting down, and it's 2023, it's systemic. But all that aside, where's the hoorah energy? Where's the Black Lives Matter? Where is it? What happened? What happened? I thought we was... So the story I have to keep repeating is, the pandemic gave us time It gave us time. Everybody had to sit down, relax, pay attention. George Floyd, that was his name. So when George Floyd got murdered, everybody had to watch it at the same time, had to process it with the same patience. And everybody had to lock in and say, oh, nah, this ain't right. Now this one is worse. This one is worse. And it resonates, so it's a multiplier. But everyone is so busy. And then I ask you, what are you busy doing? Don't tell me you too busy propping up the same system, the same systemic injustices. Don't tell me that you're too busy feeding the machine that is feasting on your people so that you could put a little bit of food on. Don't tell me that. Because if that's the case, we need to go on a hunger strike. We need to fast a little bit. Don't tell me you too busy. So where is all the energy? What's happening? So for me, for a lot of folks, it's internalized and it's pressurized, and unfortunately, click, 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 it's definitely gonna boom. So here are my suggestions. Put yourself in a position to meditate on what you actually, what's the future that you want. If you're gonna do what the oppressed did, you might as well not be free. That's a classic quote. I just butchered it. So what type of world do you want to live in? What type of future do you want to see? What are the steps necessary? Well, maybe that's too much for a lot of folks. Let's not even get into the steps. I'll deal with the steps. But I challenge you, I offer you this advice, I bring us to task on having one unified, clear vision on what we want the future to look like. Is it Wakanda? Is it a prosperous America? Like, what do we want collectively? And then the rest of us, we can go ahead and we can start that. A lot of the groundwork has been laid. We just need a collective understanding. Black folks in America, it's been long enough. It's time. Green light, go. So when I say black folks, I don't mean skin, although that would be the general classification, because that is what capitalist racism created. You can't have one without the other nowadays. But when I say black, I mean people who understand being a good person is not a task or a feat, it's an honor. I mean people who understand sharing is not something that you do after you've taken everything that you want to take. It's a way of life. I mean people who understand that creating community is not just about ideas, it's actual spaces. So yes, gentrification is bad. I mean people who understand that capitalizing off of individuals' weaknesses is sucker maneuvers. I'm not talking about angels. I'm talking about real people who have a sense of who they are, know that they do right and wrong, and are okay with that, so long as at the end of the day, they can go to sleep knowing they're on the right side of history. That's what I mean by black. What y'all want to do? I want to caution that we don't have as much time as we think. So, when the iron is hot, it's best to strike. The iron is definitely hot. So, I'm going to take a couple of pivots, but before that, I'm going to meditate and envision. I think I'm going to have a great day. I wish you the same. It's going to be heavy, though. It's not going to be easy, but truth to light. All right. Ciao.